I feel the same way now about Donald J. Trump. Indeed, during his campaign, Trump was a harsh critic of Bush, particularly his decision to ignore the CIA's clear warning in August 2001 that Osama bin Laden was planning to imminently attack the United States, and his misleading claim a year later that Saddam Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction, WMD. Ironically, Russian propaganda designed to undermine confidence in the ability of the United States to make good decisions regularly includes the question, what about the claim Iraq had WMD? I wrote about the Bush administration's relationship to the forces of unreason at a moment when the stakes were still high. The grave consequences of that history are, of course, still with us, particularly the destabilization of the Middle East and the Eastern Mediterranean that predictably followed the tragic invasion of Iraq on false pretenses. Now that some of those passions have cooled, I have been tempted to go back to those sections of the book and recalibrate them. I have resisted that temptation. I think the essential argument of these sections has held up well, and they serve as case studies of abiding use. And in terms of the underlying issues, the stakes are still just as high. This is truly a deepening systemic crisis for American self-government and for democracy itself. After all, Trump's victory must be seen in the context of a worldwide rise in support for right-wing populism and authoritarianism. And in every country that has voted in anger to overturn the established order, reason itself has been under assault. Just a few weeks after the election, here in the United States, an armed gunman discharged his weapon in a Washington, D.C. pizzeria because of baseless and vicious online conspiracy theories advanced by internet trolls supporting Trump, or that simply hated Hillary Clinton, that the restaurant was the site of a child pornography ring run by Clinton campaign head John Podesta. And the same group has already started circulating claims that this gunman was himself a false flag, that is, a plant, sent by the child pornographers themselves to discredit the conspiracy theories. This is, of course, a level of detachment from reality that is truly disturbing. Almost every day now there are similar examples of fake news, ludicrous conspiracy theories and determined efforts to discredit the established truth of information that in previous eras would have been challenged among the literate and sane. But perhaps more important than the proliferation of fake news are the decline of real news about actual and important choices confronting our self-government and the phenomenon the late Neil Postman called disinformation, which in his view does not mean false information, it means misleading information, misplaced, irrelevant, fragmented, or superficial information. Information that creates the illusion of knowing something, but which in fact leads one away from knowing. Postman believed that when everything is presented as entertainment, the role of news for self-government is damaged because we are losing our sense of what it means to be well-informed. So where are we, and how did we get here? In the assault on reason, I argued that our ecosystem of information has been shaped by three successive reigning paradigms. First came the age of print, from Gutenberg through to the middle decades of the 20th century. Then came the age of radio and television, from the early mid-20th century to our own time. And now, 10 years later, we are in the still early stages of the age of the Internet. The argument of the first edition of The Assault on Reason and the historical line it follows still prevails. It is just at present incomplete. Democracy, which depends on a well-informed citizenry, came to maturity in the age of print culture for good reason. It wasn't nirvana or utopia. There was fake news then, too, and at times an unhealthy concentration of power in the hands of press barons as well. But there was freedom of the press in a meaningful sense, and the Jeremiahs and the muckrakers, from Thomas Paine to Ida Tarbell, got their messages out. Broadcasting, particularly on television, changed all that for many reasons.